Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing well today. So this is just going to be a small channel update. Every time I get 1,000 subscribers, I have posted an update, and so I'm gonna go ahead and do one now since I just made 4,000 subscribers, which is really great and pretty unbelievable actually. And all it does is it inspires me to upload more frequently and to upload more quality content for all of you. So I just aim to just work harder and create more for everyone, because it does seem like some people are benefiting in some different ways from some of the content that I put out there. So, what do I want to say? I have a lot that I have planned. I recently made a community post on YouTube saying that if any of you have any questions you want me to answer on my channel, I will be answering those. So I plan on uploading all those. I've actually already filmed those, but I'm going to upload them after I upload this video. Um, so I just made 4,000 subscribers and I made a few milestones on my channel, which I'll post them on the screen if I can. Another thing I wanted to mention is that if you didn't already know, I do have a Patreon where I post just random extra tidbits of stuff. Anything that's on my channel, nothing on Patreon is exclusive exactly. So it's not, I don't have any Santa Muerte content behind a paywall or anything like that. Everything I share is available for free on my channel. What I do sometimes is I will take videos on my channel and I'll convert them into articles that I type up and post on my Patreon. So that way, if you have a video on my channel that you like, you can go back and read it as an article on my Patreon. Another thing I do is I create all these images that I post in all my videos of images of Santa Muerte and other beings, and I pretty much post them for free, all of them on my Patreon. So if you want some of those pictures or access to those pictures in like their full image qualities, they're all on my Patreon. I have started the process of uploading those to my Patreon for my patrons. And it's a little, you can be a patron for as little as $3. So not much at all. Or if you just want to support the channel, you can do that too. I still have my Etsy shop, which I have a few prints and a few other digital art pages. What I'm aiming to do is I have an Amazon store. What I want to do is maybe ship some stuff from Etsy over to Amazon, so the shipping will be a lot cheaper, like if you were to buy an art print or something. So right now, all the prints I have on my Etsy shop, even some of the little prayer journals, they're kind of expensive with the shipping, which is it's not ideal. And I don't want to charge that much for anything I create, because I would like it all to be pretty affordable. So I'm going to be posting those on I'm aiming to have all this stuff moved over to Amazon, my Amazon store, or just on Amazon so that you can purchase it if you want to. And I've already started posting some stuff over there, but I have a lot more I'm working on in the near future for that. What else? I do have a TikTok. I haven't started posting to it yet, although it seems like TikTok's about to get banned, so maybe this isn't the best time to start putting time into that. I do plan on starting to upload some shorts to maybe help me get more views, to help me get more traction, and maybe help get my information out to more people who would be interested in hearing it. Other than that, I have about 60 to 70 videos planned out that I want to do. A lot of them have to do with Santa Muerte, and a lot of them don't have to do with Santa Muerte. But I do have a lot of content planned for all of you. Right now, I still have a job that it's not really full-time, but sometimes the hours are practically full-time, and it takes up a lot of my time and energy, and it's very draining. And my ultimate goal is to be able to do this full-time, so that way I can have more time and more energy to put onto my channel and to all of the art and the things I want to create. Now, speaking of things I want to create, since I've been able to create all these images with Midjourney and and a lot of people seem to really like them, what I decided to do was to create an oracle deck using some of the art I've made. And this oracle deck will have images of Santa Muerte. Right now, it's 45 cards, has the images with a keyword on each card, and I'm gonna make a little booklet that can go with the deck that goes into depth about what each card means, but I'm not sure how to get the decks printed with the booklet. So it's like a whole process I'm trying to figure out. But I'll show you what some of the cards look like. I'll have them on the screen here. Another thing I wanted to do was I want to create more of these like journals for any of you who want them, and I'm gonna price them really cheap, way cheaper than it is on my Etsy store right now, because eventually I would like to have a lot more Oracle decks out there. I was also gonna make an Oracle deck for shadow work, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically just when you do exercises to kind of tap into the parts of yourself that you hide, the things that you deny in yourself. A lot of the times we go through really bad things in our life, so we get a lot of bad memories and a lot of bad experiences, and we don't really process them properly. We don't really deal with them, and so as a result, we go through life having a lot of self-doubt, a lot of fears, a lot of anxieties and things like that that stemmed from bad moments in our lives. By doing shadow work, we can kind of admit to ourselves what our faults are, where our shortcomings are, the things that trigger us, why they trigger us, how we can move past them. It's basically just like very deep, profound self-work, self-reflection, and then doing exercises to move past it and to really bring all the deep parts of ourselves to the light so they can be processed and dealt with. That's what shadow work is in a nutshell. And I wanted to make an Oracle deck for that, which would probably have more darker imagery, but I wanted to do something probably involving, I'm thinking, well, actually, I'm not going to get into great detail with it, but I'll show a couple of examples on the screen if I can, just like rough draft examples. So you see, I have a lot of things I'm trying to work on. Also, if you are interested in the captor cards, the cloud cards, I am in the middle of making a book. It should be finished within 2 weeks, if not 1 week, depending on how much time I decide to put onto it, because it is a process. This is basically just a book of meanings for each card. If you don't know what the cloud cards are, there's a television program and a manga called Cardcaptor Sakura, where she uses all these magical cards to do different things, but basically each card does have a meaning, and I can use the cards for fortune telling. Now, these cards, they do have meanings associated with them, but I have my own intuitive meanings that I've attributed to each card, and I did make a video about them, sharing all of that on YouTube, which got kind of a lot of views, but I felt like it would be a helpful tool to people if they could have it as a physical book. So I made a very thin little paperback book that I'm going to sell on Amazon with all of the meanings of all of the cards. So if you want to use the cards for fortune telling, you could use my book, to aid you if you so choose to. So I'm going to be uploading that as like an unofficial meaning guide to Amazon. Probably 2 weeks from now, it'll probably be uploaded already to Amazon, but I'll make it its own video when it's uploaded. Trying to think what else am I working on with the channel. I definitely want to keep making something worth it content. I also want to make more of those meditation music videos. I plan on making one for the pink, one for the gold, and eventually probably one for all of the major colors, just to have them available as a free resource for people to use if they're trying to connect with different aspects of Santa Muerte. And so that's just another thing I'm definitely wanting to consider doing, wanting to keep doing, really. I'm not sure what I'm doing next. I know after I asked all those questions in the community tab, so actually, well, speaking of that, so I was getting too many questions from too many people. A lot of these people, they really needed help with different things. They had a lot of questions. Some of the questions were really long, like paragraph long questions. And since I have so many things going on in my life, so many things I'm working on, it felt like almost too much to really keep up with, because I was getting a lot of questions, and if I didn't check my questions, if I didn't check all the comments every week, I was getting over 50 comments, like paragraph comments, like every week, which was a lot to keep up with. So, and the thing is, I was answering a lot of them, but as best I could. So, but I do have a Patreon, and on my Patreon, one of the perks is that I will answer any questions you have anytime as best I can, really. So I'm answering questions for patrons, and it didn't really seem fair to answer questions to patrons if I'm answering questions to people, just willy-nilly in the comments. So what I might do is just kind of stop answering all the questions I get, because I really get too many, and it was making me feel a little bit pressured and a little bit burdened to try to keep up with and answer all these questions that I was constantly getting. But I did notice that the more subscribers I get, the greater the influx of questions and people wanting answers to all these different scenarios. So what I'm probably going to start doing is I'm going to continue, of course, to answer any questions I get on Patreon. But what I'm going to do is stop asking, probably not as frequently answering questions I get in YouTube comments. And maybe every once in a while, what I'll do is make a community post saying, hey, if y'all have any questions, I'll answer them now, and I will answer them in a video, in a Q&A style format, so that every so often I can just answer a bunch of questions in bulk instead of kind of scrambling to answer so many questions on the daily in the comment section on my channel. Yeah, because I was getting a lot of questions. I was even getting them in Etsy. I do have an Etsy shop, and there is a messaging, thing on Etsy, where people can message you, and usually it's for customer support. So if somebody has a problem or an issue with their kind of product, they can contact me, the seller, and that's what it's really there for. But I was even getting people messaging me on Etsy, with like long paragraph, like life story type of questions, which they weren't customers. Not that they had to be, but they weren't customers. They weren't people who I had any previous contact with before. They were just choosing to message me on Etsy with like these like long questions and things, which and I get the same kind of questions on YouTube as well. So it was kind of throwing me off to get those kind of questions on my Etsy account, when that's usually pretty much just primarily for, business type of stuff, business inquiries, or customer support for products I have in my shop or services. So I think now I might scale back with just answering different random types of things and just focus on creating a lot of content. And every once in a while, I'll just answer a bunch of questions in bulk, like I just did, with this recent Q&A I just put out on my channel. So that way it can make things a little bit more manageable for me. And I think it'll be a little bit more fair to my patrons and the people who so generously and amazingly decided to support my channel and all the content I create over on my Patreon. So that's another thing. I think my ultimate goal is to be able to, with this channel, become more full-time with it, become a full-time content creator, so that I can just, create much more quality content and create content more frequently. Because my job, it can kind of leave me a little bit burnt out sometimes. So and this channel is really like more like a passion project of mine, and so eventually I like do it full time. That would be best, in addition to be able to sell and create artwork and things like that online. I do have other social medias. I do have an Instagram, but I don't upload to it at all. I do have an Etsy shop. I do have a Patreon. I do have a Twitch account where I can use that to go live, but I don't have it. I don't really go live on there. It's been over a year, I think, since I last went live. Although it's fully set up, and I could put a link to it below if you want to see it. There's links to all my socials on there. So if you click on the About section of my Twitch account, you can see links to all the products I have on Amazon and Etsy, to my tarot readings, to my Patreon, to my TikTok account, to my YouTube channel, to my community tab in my YouTube channel, which is like a direct link to that. Just a lot of direct links. I even one time made a trading card game, because I used to like to create a lot of OCs and original characters. So I created kind of like trading cards for my unique characters that I created. And I even have a link to that through my Twitch account if you're just curious to see what that looks like. It's just a lot of stuff over there. But I'm really, really excited for the future of this channel. And I don't want to put my eggs in one basket. You know, I know this channel is very important to me. It's kind of become a central hub for everything I create. But I really want to spread myself through different platforms and different areas. So that's why I want to keep adding content to Patreon, and I do want to add content. Maybe I might make a website or a blog somewhere, so that way I can have content that exists outside of YouTube, so that should anything happen to my YouTube account, I will still have a public blog, a public platform for people to refer to and kind of navigate through and see all of my content, all of my media. That way, I don't have all my content just sitting in one place, which would be my YouTube account. You know, plus I like the idea of having a lot of different things going on in regards to the internet. So in addition to YouTube, I eventually would like to get to have a blog of some kind, or like a website, but I don't see myself making that until after I start doing YouTube full time. And I'm not really worried too much about TikTok right now because it may or may not get banned within the next month. So we'll see what happens with that. But if it doesn't get banned, I will definitely start posting to that, and we'll see how that goes, because I know that's a different can of worms. And I know people on TikTok can be very, very toxic, especially in the spiritual community, which I kind of know what I'm getting myself into with that. So we'll see how it goes, really. Um, yeah, that's pretty much, I think, everything I really want to say with what's going on with my channel. If there's anything else, I don't think I'm really thinking of it. I will post a link to all of my socials, all of my different places you can reach me in my comment section. And follow me on all the social media platforms, because even though I don't really have any content on those, I plan on eventually getting there. So go ahead and follow if you want to. That way you can be one of the first people to see me on those platforms. That being said, I think that's all I really want to update all of you on for right now. But thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments, for your likes, for the interactions, for the kind words. I do see all of the kind words you send me, even if it's just, emojis, whatever it is, I'm really thankful for it. It really does mean a lot. I'm just happy to be able to help, to aid other people on their spiritual paths, kind of give them a starting point so they can kind of have a frame of reference to make the moves that they want to make for themselves. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you again for 4K subscribers. Let's make it to 5K. I feel like I'm going to get there probably before the year's over with, probably, maybe. We'll see. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one. Take care.